Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Taj Edu Edge. In this series of statistics for business decision 1 for the first semester students of BBA Bengaluru City University, now I am going to start with Unit 2 Data Collection, Organization and Visualization. The syllabus of the unit prescribed by the university is as follows. First, data in business environment. Next, collection of data, which consists of techniques of data collection such as census technique and sampling technique concepts only. Next, we have classification of data. We need to learn the meaning and the methods of classification of data. Next, tabulation of data. Here, along with learning the meaning, the parts of the table, we also need to learn the simple problems on the tabulation, which will be asked for the 5 marks section B of your examination. Next, the last one here is diagrammatic presentation. So the diagrammatic presentations includes two major types of diagrams here. The one is the bar diagram, other one is the pie diagram. The bar diagram here includes the simple bar diagram, multiple bar diagram and the percentage bar diagram, also the subdivided bar diagram. 4 different types of bar diagrams are included here. Under 2-dimensional diagrams, pie diagram or a pie chart we need to learn. So learn first, beginning with the concept of data and information. Though they have not included in the syllabus, it's important for us to understand the meaning of a data and the meaning of information, the difference between the data and information. First, let's understand. Let's assume that you are going to cook or you want to make a tea. For that, the ingredients which you have, that is data. Okay, the ingredients which you have is the data. Whereas the final dish, the tea, the output is the information. Here, if I take a simple explanation example, data is like an ingredient in the kitchen. For example, sugar, flour, oil, etc. Information is like the final dish. That could be a cake made by using those ingredients properly. I hope that you have understood the simple example of the difference between the data and information. If I take another example of a classroom, you can see here the data of list of students' marks. Like, let's assume that in a subject business studies in your PUC, okay, in a business studies, you have got 45, your friend has got 50, other friend has got 60, another one has got 90. So these are the list of marks of the students. What can be the information? The class average. If you add up all these marks and divided it by 44, divided it by 4, like say 45 plus 50 plus 60 plus 90. As you know, here 60 plus 90 is 150, 150 plus 50 is 200, 200 plus 45 is 245. 245 divided by 4. So if we divide 245 by 4, then we will get 61.25. That is on an average marks of the students. Here we can see average marks of the student is 61. The 2 student has passed, whereas with 2 students has passed with the distinction. Like that we can define it. That is information. We can analyze, interpret and present it. That is what we call it as information. The unprocessed data, unprocessed information is a data. That is raw, something facts or figures, the numbers, statistics. When we analyze it, give a meaning to it and we use it for some purpose, that it becomes an information. Let's understand it with the help of this table where I have segregated and made a comparison between the data and information. The meaning of data. Data is a raw, facts or figures which are unprocessed in nature, whereas information is processed or organized data which is meaningful in nature, which gives some meaning, some information, we can present it, okay, so we can interpret something out of that. That is information. Next, nature. It is unorganized, may not make sense. Something which is unorganized, something like, for example, let's say in your classroom there are 100 students. How many students? 100 students, right? So out of the, if I have a data collected, okay, from all those 100 students relating to all the marks in their PUC, all the 6 subject marks, okay, all 100 students, all the 6 subjects marks, like language 1 Kannada, language 2 English, language core subject, let's say business economics, accountancy, any specialized subject like history, anything which you have opted, or another subject, business studies. Like this, as you know that you had 4 core subjects and 2 languages, those 6 subjects, what the marks you have scored out of 100, if I collect all the data of all the 100 students, it is unorganized and I have just the data and it doesn't make any sense. I cannot interpret, I cannot understand anything out of that, right? For that, first I need to organize the data and make it meaningful, and then I can use it. It becomes useful, that then it becomes an information. So next, the use. The use of data is to, the data needs to be processed. If it is not processed, then it is just a raw data. Okay, next, and information is something which is ready for decision making. If we have data organized, meaningful, which is already analyzed, okay, then we can use it for a decision making. For example, marks 78, 65, 89, 92, all these are numbers which are there, but it is of no use if we don't organize it, analyze it, interpret it and present it, right? So data which we can't use it, the numbers which we can't use it without organizing, analyzing, interpreting it, then it becomes a data. So information is like the average marks is 81% and the highest is 92%. If you add all these four numbers, the average marks will be 81%, and out of this 92% is the highest, 65 is the lowest. Like this, if we can interpret something, which we can understand something, interpret meaning, the meaning of interpretation is understanding. Okay, so you need to understand the meanings here when you are learning the statistics. Because here sometimes in few videos you may observe that they are using the word interpretation. Okay, so if you understand the vocabulary properly, then you can write it very well in the examination. Okay, next, another example like daily temperature. Let's say 28 degrees Celsius, 30 degrees Celsius, 31 degrees Celsius. This week is hotter than the last week. This is how we are comparing. So if we are comparing the temperature, we can compare the temperature day wise, we can compare the temperature weekly wise, we can compare the temperature monthly wise, like that. Then we are comparing it, or we are making use of it, we are trying to understand something. It is an information, or else it is just a data. So I hope that you have understood the meaning of data versus information in this video. In the next video, we will be discussing on the major concepts specified in your syllabus, data in the business environment.